Hello everyone, it's a new week and I have a new project for you. For this week we will turn over together this cute little Chippendale style dresser, and this one is in a pretty good shape. This is actually handmade, it's solid wood, but it has some troubles. Like this door is not opening proper, it's catching here as you can see, so I need to figure out how to fix that. Also these shelves inside, they are like pretty thin, so I will need to replace them. And also this button drawer, I will show you something. It doesn't have any rail slides inside, so as you can see it's catching a lot here and scratching the surface. Also this drawer is kind of scratching this one, so I need to figure out how to solve all these issues. So I was thinking, in the worst scenario case, I will just remove all the drawers and I will leave this like kind of an open space with shelves. But I will see along the road how I will solve all these issues. For right now I will start prepping this, cleaning everything, scuff sanding, and as you can see here there are some damages that I need to sand smooth and then prime. So let's get started working. Okay, so first thing first, I will start by removing the hardware because I'm actually planning to keep this one. So most of the pieces here in Germany, they have like these caps behind the screws of the hardware, so I will remove them as well. Also because the screw is looking like this. And I will also remove like this one is like a closing mechanism because it catch inside, and if I don't have the handles, once I close them, it will be hard for me to open them again. So next I will vacuum this piece thoroughly because it's pretty dusty. I will use my TSP cleaner and some warm water. This piece is pretty dirty. So now I'm going to mix together some filler. This is a two-component filler. I think in the US you call it Bondo. I also call it Bondo. So I have my filler and I have this hardening paste here. So I'm going to mix everything together. We'll fill in this crack. I put some tape here so that it won't spill, it won't go through. So guys, my English is not very good, so I apologize if I make any mistakes, but I really hope that what I'm doing here it's pretty understandable without lots of explanation. So now that everything is nice and dry, I will sand this down. I have to do this by hand, so I'm wearing a mask. Always remember, your health is the most important, and you have to protect your lungs for all this fine dust, and especially from the dust coming up from this filler. So now let me show you what happens when you put your top coat is too thick. As you can see, this one cracked and I need to remove this. before starting painting, because this one will continue chipping in time, so you have to make sure that you remove any cracked or chipping parts. Okay, now guys, I'm working on these drawers, and sometimes I just ask myself how in the hell the people get the sides of the drawers like so dirty. So the other drawers are already, I sanded smooth, I cleaned everything. Also these edges, I only have this one. So as you can see, I try not to see if I solve the problem with this drawer, just scratching the drawer underneath, and unfortunately I still have to do a lot of sanding in this part, because here, I don't know if you can see, it's okay, the only problem is here, but it's a lot to be sanded. I also solved the problem with this drawer sliding. I put these things here. I will show in a minute what exactly is this, and I still have to sand a little bit more the sides and a little bit here, so that it will have like more space here and will slide easier. This is what I used to solve my problem with the drawer. This is that kind of, I don't know, like slippers, I think, the stuff that you put on the bottom of your of the legs of a piece, so that they don't scratch your flooring. So you have in different shapes and different dimension. I took the bigger one and I just cut it to slice. This part is peeling off, and you can glue it to your piece. And my drawer now is sliding on this part, which is pretty soft. And yeah, this solves my problem. Okay guys, so I sanded down this part here, this edge here, so that my door now is closing nicely. And I also put some wood filler, because at this corner like there was several pieces of wood put together, and when I sand this edge down, so I had some like some spaces in between. So now it's drying, and I will sand this nice and smooth, and this will be ready for painting. One more thing guys, I was pretty lucky that this piece is wood. If this piece would have been particle board, then I don't know, I would need to find another solution, because particle board you cannot sand like this. So now it's finally time to paint. I decided to paint this piece in the color Antebellum Blue by DixieBelle and Midnight Sky, which is a black with some blue undertone. Antebellum Blue is also kind of a dark teal color, and I also have a brush for each color, and my neutral brush, mixing bottle, and a wet microfiber cloth. Okay, now let's apply together the last coat of blending. So I will start by applying my Antebellum Blue. I misted my surface so that my paint will slide nice and smooth over the surface. Now I will move to my Midnight Sky, but I need to find my paint first. It's here, and I'm going to overlap a little bit my Antebellum Blue with Midnight Sky. So I'm doing this with my black paint brush. This is where I technically start to blend them together. And then I will come back with the Antebellum blue a little bit down into the midnight sky. I found out that like this, it's so much easier to get a nice and smooth finish, because now I have my neutral brush, because I'm going for a kind of a dipped, blended look. Hope this makes sense for you. And I want this line here to be at the same level, but at the same time to have a nice and smooth blending. Nice, so I will let this dry, and then we will be ready for the next step, top coating. So next step is to apply some furniture salve on the sides of the drawers, inside of my piece. So as you can see, these ones I already applied the furniture salve, so you can see the difference in the wood. This is going to nourish and to just hydrate my wood, and it will look and smell nicely, and it also will slide easier in and out. So now I'm going to slightly sand my surface before applying wax. You know guys, I like to sand my finish before I apply the top coat, because I feel like the top coat is sliding easier, and also I will get a nice and smooth surface, and also because I feel like it's more easier to take care of your piece afterwards. I mean, the surface is not so chalky anymore, so I'm using this sanding pad. This is by Surf Prep. It's the fine one. I think this is like about 400 grit sandpaper, and it's bendable, so this allows me to also sand surfaces like this curved one without being afraid to scratch my paint. So this step is totally optional. You can do it or not. It's totally up to you, but I recommend to do this. So now it's time to have some fun and to add some gold to this piece. And to be honest, I usually don't know exactly what I wanted to do with the gold, and just go with the vibe of the piece, and I just start adding a little bit, and then I add more if I feel that I want more. So just always start with small amounts. And I mainly go around the molds if I have any. It's always for me it's easier to apply decorative waxes when the piece has molds, but sometimes I will show you later on the drawers where I don't have molds, so you can also create a beautiful effect even if you don't have molds. Now I'm going to grab a natural bristle brush, and I'm going just to smash around, just to create like a halo, like to kind of blend the gilding wax in my finish, so that it will look all very cohesive. So now for the mold here, because I don't have black here, I will just add a little bit of black wax, because I personally like it more how the gold wax lays on top of black wax. It just creates like a more deep and saturated look. And I actually want my black wax just to sit in into all these grooves. Now let's add a little bit of drama to this drawer. So I will start by adding a tiny bit of black wax around the corners. I will put black wax where I want to put my gilding wax. So that way I will create like a darker base for my gilding wax. And now I will take my natural bristle brush. I will take a little bit amount of gilding wax, and I will just start applying in the corners. And I also want to add a little bit on this edge around to create kind of a very subtle halo, if I can say it like this. This gilding wax is oil-based, so it will need a couple of days to cure, but once it's cured, then it is very durable, so you cannot wipe it away with a rag. I really think this piece is another trash to treasure flip. I really like how this turned out despite all the problems that I have to solve on this piece. So if you guys like it, please give me some thumbs up, leave me a comment below, and don't forget to subscribe. Thank you so much for watching, and I will catch you next time.